name is Alex Rodriguez, reminding you, you don't need a contractor, you need a team of pros.
Hey, what's up guys? Alex with Bay Cities Construction. Hey, today we're going to be talking about ADUs and maximizing your ADU for getting the maximum amount of rent. So many of you have been sending us questions and have viewed a ton of our videos, our ADU videos. We've got probably about 5 or 6 videos, and that we've posted. We have posted videos on cost and all that stuff. Today we're talking about how to maximize your house. If you're considering, the coronavirus is affecting a lot of people's incomes, and you may be considering taking on a roommate. You may be considering doing an ADU and renting it out to supplement your mortgage payment. These are all things that people are considering. So today we're going to talk about the things you should do to maximize the desirability of your ADU in maybe in an environment where there's going to be a lot of units for rent. So that's what we're talking about today. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Hey guys, welcome back. Alex Rodriguez here with Bay Cities Construction. Today we're talking about maximizing your rent for an ADU. And what that means is, what are some of the things that you need to put into the design of your ADU to maximize rents? And we're talking about, for those of you that are new to the show, we're talking about ADUs built here in LA County. We definitely will build them in any of the cities in LA County for you, and even some of the cities in northern Orange County. So if you haven't watched our show, we put a weekly show together. You can watch the last episode where we talked about the construction costs. We will be touching a little bit of construction costs in this video, but if you want to go deep dive into ADU construction costs, check out the previous episode. And you can watch the replay on Facebook and on YouTube. So let's get into it, guys. How to maximize your ADU for higher rents. That's the topic of today's construction show. So 3 things you want to address, or 3 things you want to pay attention to when you're designing your ADU. You want to consider what amenities you're going to offer, the level of privacy of the unit, and make sure that it has ample space. All right, those are the 3 things that we're going to unpack for you on the show. So let's talk about amenities first. Having a laundry unit inside of the unit is really important. Based on some of this data that we got from Zillow, Trulia posted that you can get that a unit that has a washer dryer inside could get a 17% rent premium. All right, so 17%, that's a lot of money. That could be on a $2,000 a month deal. You're talking about almost $400 more a month. All right, so that's pretty significant. And it's as part of the initial phase, designing a laundry unit in there is not a big deal. So consider doing that. It's definitely a good thing. The next thing is air conditioning. A few of you guys that have contracted us to do the design, you kind of wanted to skimp out a little bit on the AC. Don't do it. There's good data that supports the fact that many tenants view this as the second most popular amenity that a potential renter looks for. Now, the third is not exactly an amenity, but it's more of a policy, and it's pets. So you can anticipate allowing your tenants to have pets if you have the correct surfaces. So many people, they try and save money with some of the amenities and use carpeting, right? Well, carpet is not a good surface for pets, right? It's stinky, it'll trap hair, dander, all of that good stuff. All of that bad stuff, really. So if you have the right surfaces for your flooring, like if you have a waterproof laminate, it's not going to get damaged if pets pee on it. It's easy to clean. It's easy to keep hygienic. It's also easy to repair in the event that it does get damaged. So please consider your flooring. Pay close attention to your flooring when you are considering the design of your ADU. And then you too can offer the ability to house a little rover here to welcome your tenants home. All right. So consider furnishing your apartment. if you're in an area where you're probably going to have a good amount of turnover, maybe your unit is near the university, maybe it's near the local hospital where you have turnover, you have good demand in rental in tenants, but they may need kind of a unit ready to go. Consider furnishing it. Consider having all of the appliances there, including a refrigerator. You can definitely charge 15 to 20% more rent if you've got a unit that's ready to go. Think about it. People just would have to move in their clothing, right? So depending on the size of your unit and where you are and what your target tenants, who your target tenants are, this may be a good option for you to offer the unit fully rented and ready to go. Now, this I think is a very important underestimated component: privacy. The way that you design your ADU, you have to consider privacy. Privacy in the way that your tenants enter the unit, but also privacy in like soundproofing. That's what I'm talking about. Privacy and soundproofing, privacy and access. You can also design a private outdoor space so that people can have a little barbecue outside, or maybe if they have a cat or some other small pet, the animal could be in kind of a little mini backyard. These are things that, remember, you're going to be competing. Your ADU is going to be competing with thousands of thousands of units that are in a brand new building. So the only thing that you offer that those big buildings don't is outdoor space, private outdoor space, and the access to outdoor space, right? Most of them are going to be like a condo apartment type building where there's no outdoor space that's private, and you'll have a competitive advantage with your unit if you offer some type of a private outdoor space, private access, and the use of outdoor space. So these are things that maybe you don't think of in the beginning, but there's something that will help keep the tenants in there once you rent it out. The ability to have a private access and private outdoor space. So noise, privacy. Look, guys, if you're going to rent this stuff out to maybe a young couple that engage in amorous activities, they don't want to hear you, and you don't want to hear them. And it could be something that will help this, having good soundproofing, double pane windows. This could be something that, again, could help keep those tenants in there and turn them into maybe more long-term tenants. If you're typically talking about turning the place around in a year lease or a 9-month lease, maybe you can keep people around for a few years, 2 or 3 years. So let's talk a little bit about what that's going to take. Soundproofing material. Your ADU, if you're converting a garage, you're going to have to insulate the walls. You should also consider, if you've got a bedroom from the main house, if you're converting the garage and you got a bedroom above the main house, you should definitely consider putting soundproofing in the ceiling. Maybe you're going to do insulation coupled with double drywall. These are all things that help with the privacy, and in addition to double pane windows. So this is a good example in this picture of a house that's insulated. There's also some special insulation for soundproofing that you can get from like SoundCal. I think it's SoundCal. It's a mineral fiber that goes in the walls, and you can add it to your thermal insulation, and it gives you another degree of soundproofing. The other example is maybe people are working from home. So this idea of making sure that you have a quiet, private unit will get you a lot of it'll create more of a desirable unit for potential tenants. All right, let's talk about space. The way that the ADU is designed, and we're going to go over some of the floor plan options that are available. Some of you may be able to do, if it's a detached unit, you may be able to do 2 bedrooms. Some of you may be just converting the garage, but consider the importance of how you divide that space up, because a good floor plan will definitely go a long way in not only functionality but desirability of the unit.
We want to say hi to some of the viewers that are joining us on Facebook.
Oh, cool. Let's see, who do we got? Who do we got on Facebook Live?
One of our viewers wants to know, well, they're asking a question, but we should probably answer that later.
Okay.
broadcast a little.
So who's on? Who do we got on there?
We got a couple viewers.
Let's do a little shout out.
Mike joining us from Long Beach.
Oh, hey, welcome, Mike. Good to see you. I'm glad you tuned in. Mike, if you got any questions, go ahead and post them on there, and Brian will read them to me. All right, so this is a good example of a two-story detached ADU where there's a new garage and then there's a living quarters up above. We're building one of those here in Torrance right now. Another trend that we found, the source was ARP, is empty nesters. Empty nesters are building a detached ADU. Most of the time it's the detached ADU, and they're moving into the ADU and they're renting the front house. So if you're thinking about that, that may be a really good way, especially if you can get more rent for the front house where you can live in the back. Maybe you're traveling and you're not going to be at home all that often. You're going to go RVing and look at the countryside. That's kind of cool, a cool thing to subsidize your retirement by moving out of the main house and renting it out. So that's kind of an interesting trend that we found. All right, so next we're going to be talking about pros and cons of ADUs, but we'll take a quick break and we'll be right back, and we're going to talk about pros and cons. We're going to talk about some construction costs, and we're going to go over floor plans. So don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere.
Looking for a bathroom remodel in the Southern California, Los Angeles area? If you've shopped and you've looked at prices and have no clue where to start, let Bay Cities Construction get you started with a quote of get design, interior design, project scope, and know exactly what it will cost to get your bathroom remodeled. There is no guesswork and no need to shop around. Just take time out of the equation to get your new bathroom in 90 days. Get your estimate now at baycitiesconstruction.com. That's baycitiesconstruction.com.
Hey guys, so we're back. So we're talking about pros and cons. The next things we're going to talk about a little bit of construction costs and some floor planning. Okay, so these are the three most common types of ADU. Basically, the first one is a conversion, a garage conversion. The next one is an attached ADU, and that's basically new construction, but it's attached to the main house. And then the third one is a detached unit. So that could be a detached two-story unit with a garage underneath, or a detached two-story unit with maybe just a two-bedroom, 1.5 bath. So these are the pros and cons of the different units, okay? The converting the garage, the first one, is the most affordable, but you're probably going to get the least amount of rent because it's going to be at about 400 square feet, all right? So, but it is the fastest to build, the fastest to, or the easiest to get initial construction costs, and it'll be something that'll be relatively easily approved because the structure's already there, and it'll be the cheapest. The second potential ADU is an attached new addition. So you're adding the ADU to the existing house. Typically, it's going to be 50% of the main house's size. So you can't be bigger than that in most municipalities. So these are the pros and cons. It's a bigger space. You're going to get a higher rent, but it's going to be more expensive to build. That's the negative. And it's also going to be less private, and it's going to be probably a little bit of a challenge to create some private outdoor space for the ADU. But again, none of those things are deal killers. I'm just kind of giving you a well-rounded assessment, right? All right, and then the third one is detached. A detached unit, you're going to get the maximum amount of rent. It's going to be much bigger. It's going to give you the ability to keep your parking, your covered parking, because in a detached unit, you could build the parking on the first floor and have half of the first floor can be living quarters and garage. So there's a lot of flexibility in how you design it. In a detached unit, also you can plan for a private yard area. And the negatives are it's more expensive than the other two, and it's only fit for larger lots. So you have to have a larger lot. So what's a larger lot? Something bigger than 6,500 square feet that doesn't have a big setback for the front house. So meaning you have a good sized backyard. If you have a good sized backyard, a detached unit is probably the way to go. So keep those things in mind. So let's talk a little bit about money. A straight up garage conversion is going to be about between 100 and 120K. An attached unit could be between 150 and 200, depending on how big it is. And a detached unit can be as high as 350,000 and as low as 220,000. So take a look at that. If you want to watch this video and kind of go back and refresh your memory on some of the points I covered, you can definitely do that on the rebroadcast. All right, so let's talk about our latest ADU project, and we're going to get into a little bit of floor planning. So this is a setup where it's a detached ADU with keeping the garage. This is definitely a back unit. You need a good size backyard in order to be able to do this. But it's a cool unit. You come in through the front door, you go upstairs. It has an open patio area through here. You've got 2-car garage. Kind of a cool setup. You're on your second floor. You've got an open floor plan, so you've got a little living room, dining area, kitchen area. You got a bedroom, a full bathroom. So it's kind of a smaller sink, as you can see, and you got a little balcony there. Now you could definitely change this, and a lot of the window placement and whether you can go 2-story or not really depends on your lot and the zoning in the area. There are some cities that frown upon having a 2-story that overlooks, the neighbors. So you have to be very strategic in how the windows are placed so that you can preserve the privacy of your neighbors' yards, stuff like that. So these are some of the things that we'll go over with you if you decide that you want to talk to us or hire us to do your design for your ADU. If you want to learn more, you can definitely go to baycitiesconstruction.com and look at some of the blog articles that we have for ADUs. We've got a ton of videos also on our website and on YouTube at YouTube/Bay City Builds. That's YouTube/Bay City Builds. You can also click on the link below. Brian will post some links for you to check that stuff out. If you want to learn a little bit more about us, I've been in business for over 15 years. We can offer the entire design, the architectural engineering, city representation. We'll manage your project from beginning to end and make sure that you get a nice ADU design that's practical, that'll be in good demand, and hopefully you can make plenty of money renting it out. Please like us on Facebook, and if you're on YouTube, if you're watching us on YouTube, subscribe and click on the little bell so you get notified. We try and put out a video every week about a different subject matter. And if you want us to cover a particular subject matter, please post in the comments below. We'd love to get your ideas on new content and content that you want to watch. I invite you to please do so on the comments below. This is our contact info, and I'd like to go to a Q&A now and see if we can answer any questions that our viewers may have.
Yeah, so one of our viewers wanted to know, how long does it usually take to convert a garage?
Garage conversions are probably about 2-3 months, could be 4 months. It really just depends. Some of the garage conversions that we've seen already have plumbing, like people already did a little garage converting on their own. It depends on the condition of the existing infrastructure, like do we need to run new sewer lines? Do we have to cut concrete to do that? Those types of things. But you could look at 2-3 months, something like that. If it's a heavy amount of work and maybe you want to incorporate remodeling the main house, it could be 4 or 5 months. Just depends. But we definitely talk about those timelines before we start the job with you.
Another viewer wants to know, are there any upgrades that are required when building an ADU?
Absolutely, it's a great question. Most of the time you have to upgrade the electrical panel, change its location, and you have to upgrade the sewer line or run a new sewer line connecting to the street. Those are the two main things that 90% of the time you have to do. If you're adding square footage to the house, you're probably going to have to re-roof the entire house because your roof is probably hammered or it's probably 20 years old and it doesn't make sense to just patch it up. So we end up doing the new home edition and putting in a new roof on the entire house. So those are some of the things that would be triggered by doing an ADU.
Another viewer would like to know, do you need plans when converting a garage if it's already built?
You definitely need plans to convert the garage. You're going to get, there's a series of things that the city will require. Most likely your ADU will get a separate address. You may want to install a separate water meter so you can keep track of how much your tenant is using. And you don't need to buy one from LADWP. We can actually put a separate meter that's hooked up to an app and you can see what the tenant water consumption is, and it's a fair way to be able to allocate water usage to the other unit, to the ADU unit. So it's kind of a cool thing.
Another viewer would like to know, are there any cities that are easier to work with when building an ADU?
Absolutely. LA City's probably the easiest city because they want these things to be built. Some of the more restrictive cities are like Redondo Beach. They look for an excuse to not approve it. Torrance is okay. They just make you, they're going to make you pretend that you're building a new house. So you have to go through all of the hurdles that you would if you were building a new house. That's a good question.
One of our viewers would like to know, it looks like they live in an unincorporated area.
Mm-hmm.
How to get the process started if they want to do an ADU?
Unincorporated area like LA County, we would go with the unincorporated LA County. They've come up with a process for approving ADUs. So like if you're in Lomita or unincorporated area where you're kind of locked in there, you may be up in Rolling Hills Estates, that's LA County.
So one of our other viewers would like to know, how long does the entire process take?
Depending on what city you're in, it's gonna probably take about 6 to 7 months to get approved. It could be a year if you're in one of those cities that they're very restrictive. And then it just depends on the size of your ADU. If it's a garage conversion, it's much faster than if it's a new construction build.
Another one of our viewers would like to know, it looks like they got a couple quotes. They want to know, why do ADU costs vary so much?
If you don't have plans, you don't have a cost. Different contractors will interpret what you want differently. And the truth is, if you don't have plans, there's nothing to measure to see how many, what the quantity is of the tile, of the flooring, of drywall, of stucco, of roofing. You have to have plans in order to have a quantity of materials. And then when you have that, then you can figure out the labor accordingly. But if many times people will come and they're like, oh, it's a big spread, probably like $100,000 spread in difference in pricing. And it's mostly because people are guessing. So the first step I always say is contract somebody to do the plans for you. Do that first so you can figure out what size it's going to be, what are the amenities that you're going to offer, and ultimately you have a set of plans to give to somebody to quote for you. That's the best way to do it.
I think that's everything.
All right, cool. Hey guys, thanks very much for joining us. If you have any questions, please contact us at the numbers on the screen. We'll also post some links to some of the other videos that we've done about ADUs, so you can be better informed. And by all means, please be careful out there. I know it's a situation right now with the coronavirus, and I hope you and your family are doing well. I wish you many blessings, and I hope that you stay healthy and vibrant, and we'll get through this little snafu in history, hopefully, with minimal amount of damage. So my name's Alex with Bay Cities Construction, reminding you don't need a contractor. You need a team of pros. Call us today.
Looking for a bathroom remodel in the Southern California and Los Angeles area? If you've shopped and you've looked at prices and have no clue where to start, let Bay Cities Construction get you started with a quote of get design, interior design, project scope, and know exactly what it will cost to get your bathroom remodeled. There is no guesswork and no need to shop around. Just take time out of the equation to get your new bathroom in 90 days. Get your estimate now at baycitiesconstruction.com. That's baycitiesconstruction.com.
Hey guys, like always, every week I come back and I give you a special offer. This week is no different, so we're going to give you an offer. I'm going to take off $1,200 off of your ADU plans. Look, the coronavirus, it's definitely a real thing. It's a real threat. It's going to affect the economy. It's going to affect our business. It's going to affect the construction business. So if you want to get started and look into the future and get some income from your property, diversify your income by having an ADU built at your place, please contact our offices today, 888-881-7355, and get your discount. Call us today.
Kitchen you want today from Bay Cities Construction in the Southern California and Los Angeles area. There is no better company who takes time out of the equation to get you a detailed plan of what your new kitchen will look like. Get your design plans done, your interior design plans done, and entire project scope done right now. Get your finished kitchen in 90 days or less. We are the best in the Los Angeles and Southern California area, and there's no need to shop anywhere else. Just get started with Bay Cities Construction. Go to baycitiesconstruction.com. That's baycitiesconstruction.com.
My name's Alex Rodriguez reminding you, you don't need a contract. You need a team of pros.